Oh, would you look at that? I can't make the contrast any brighter
That's wonderful, darling.
because it's so dark.
That makes sense.
That doesn't make any sense, does it? I've started with a completely. It's so
dark you can't make it any brighter. Logically.
said God.
Yeah.
Well, you know what I mean. It doesn't make any sense, but it's so dark outside that I have to turn up. Even though we've got a light, it's the middle of the day. We've got a light on inside.
And lights on like everywhere, by the way. You should really turn them off.
No, but it's dark, right?
It is, yeah.
It's dark.
Mm-hmm.
So, look here. This is what happens if I move it one step.
Mm-hmm.
If you're watching online, it sort of makes sense. We sort of look like we're in a storeroom, or warehouse, or a box, perhaps. But if I pump up the volume, oh my, we disappear. I should have.
That's a bit too much. Is there anything in between?
There's not actually. There's nothing in between.
So it's either or. Okay.
It's either or.
Never mind.
So we're either under contrasted, or over contrasted. I don't know. What do you think is better? Play with the gain a little bit. Oh look, play with the gain. There we go.
That's nice.
There we go. That does
that's nice. Yeah, leave it like that.
Okay, that was me giving you misinformation, saying it wasn't possible to do anything else, and actually it was.
Thank you for your misinformation.
That's okay.
Let's try not to do with the people out there.
I'm regularly inaccurate with certain things. Isn't that a great talent?
Yes, it's awesome talent, and it doesn't drive me nuts at all. Ever.
No?
No.
I didn't know you had any nuts.
No. Well, that's
a joke from the 1940s.
That's why.
Hey, you know what I found on the internet the other day? Actually, I didn't find it. I'm subscribed to a wonderful newsletter, which is a homeschooling newsletter, and I think it's the homeschooling freebie daily or weekly, or maybe it's monthly Frisbee International. I don't know. Maybe I'm completely wrong.
Could be.
But I have to find it and post a link to it. But they did a series on old-time radio shows, and highlighting certain stories that were good for children's imagination. In your dreams. In your dreams. Yeah. Okay. It's just the hair. You've got your hair down. I like it when you've got your hair down. It's very nice.
You should let your hair down sometimes.
I tried. Didn't make any difference.
My hair is down because it just came out of the shower. So.
I hope you were with it.
Yeah.
Didn't just walk out all by itself.
Did you smell it?
Well, I don't know what you're gonna. I thought you might be trying to hit me, so I stepped back there.
No.
I saw your fist through your arm being raised.
How did you just smell my pit?
She said.
No,
right.
No, yeah.
Right. You're right.
I'm being disgusting. So what did you?
You are.
What were you saying?
Old-time radio shows. So apparently, you have probably never heard of the Cinnamon Bear.
I have actually.
Right. Well, there goes completely my story.
So because you downloaded it for the kids about a few years ago, and I played it for the kids, and they found it quite boring.
Is it one of those things that adults appreciate more than kids, and kids just don't get?
No, I think it's the timing. I think it's the fact, first of all, the recording is not as clear as your today's recordings.
But by the way, so I just want to say that the Cinnamon Bear is like an original broadcast radio drama from, I don't know, 1950s or maybe earlier.
And second of all, kids are used to faster-paced entertainment now. So they don't have the patience to just sit down and listen to a slow-paced story.
There's something wrong with that.
Yes, I know.
There's something seriously wrong with that.
Especially if the story sounds like your old record, you know, with the crackling and the fuzzy sounds, and you couldn't really understand
I love crackle and fuzz.
Some words. But
you
do.
But the kids are so
no, actually. Kids are
it's
so
much nicer
used
than pit.
It is. Kids are so used to the clear sound of everything that I think that it just doesn't, you know, it doesn't go up to their standards.
Well, that's ridiculous, because that, you know, that which interests them it doesn't always depend upon standards. Right?
You know, if we were somewhere in the forest,
not
camping, but somewhere in a cottage in a forest for a week, right? With no monitor, no tablets, no phones, nothing, just us in the cottage. And then you turn the radio on.
The dogs and the foxes and pigs and the deer.
And if you turn the radio on after a week and you went, oh, listen, that's Cinnamon Bear, I bet you they would go like, oh, wow, that's so cool. But they're overstimulated by other things. So they're not impressed. They were not impressed. Maybe they would be impressed now, but they were not impressed before.
Well, you saw what I was doing with the Star Wars story.
Yeah. I tell you what they did like. They did like the treehouse. The Magic Treehouse, was it called? Series?
I was thinking Magic Treehouse, the old school Treehouse, the Treehouse. I know what you mean.
You know what I mean?
It's stories that were also like radio dramas as well.
Yeah. And there were the two kids that were traveling through books into different times and places. They liked that.
Mm-hmm.
I should find that and play that for them again.
I think they should get half an hour every day of this imagination play. Now, maybe they're doing it right now, because what are they doing right now?
Building a space station.
They're building a space station, right? So basically NASA is redundant, because they don't really do anything.
NASA just does the same thing, only with bigger Lego bricks.
And it's more expensive.
Yeah. Well, obviously bigger Lego bricks would be. Small Lego bricks are pretty freaking expensive.
Well, look, if one man like Richard Branson or Elon Musk can put something into space, and NASA as a giant organization can't, there's obviously something wrong with NASA. Not just the fact that it was just a place to hide all the German scientists after the Second World War, bit of history, but by the way, did you know?
No.
Did you know in the JFK files that were released? Oh, we're gonna wait for it. We're gonna get cut off the internet again.
Because it's paranoia again.
Yeah. No, I was going to tell you a fact, but obviously you're one of these people whose brain can't handle facts that go against the mainstream of things.
I just said that you're paranoid because you think that Facebook cut us off on purpose. That's what I meant.
Oh, I don't think it was Facebook. I thought it was Google.
But, oh, there you go. Anyway, but if they just continue with the JFK files, I have not commented on that at all yet.
No, right. Well, according to the JFK files that the American administration under Mr. Trumpet released, there are files that show the CIA and other organizations tracking Hitler in Argentina in the 1950s. And they've got pictures and documents from the period of time that show that he never died and he was still alive. Not only that, they've tracked how he got there, the submarine he used, and so on, according to the documents. So that Hitler never died at the end of the Second World War. He actually survived and moved with his administration to Argentina. Now, if you remember, there was no body.
I don't remember.
Okay.
I wasn't there.
You weren't there. Right. Well, you should have been. You should. It's just people these days. They're so lazy.
I missed it.
And with all this time travel available.
I'm pretty sure that it was gone live on the internet as well.
Well, it was Facebook Live, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They all Facebook Lived it.
Yeah. Can you imagine? Can you imagine?
I don't want to.
Anyway, I thought that's pretty interesting. So there's a series online. I think it's called Hunting Hitler or Tracking Hitler or something. That for years they've been collecting documents on this, and there was an interview with the person who does the main research for the program, and they say they now have enough documents to be able to release it officially that Hitler never died at the end of the Second World War. He was moved by the American government administration to South America, where he worked with the American government to fight against communism.
When did he die?
I don't have that information. I am just going by the interviews and documents that have been released
interesting.
so far.
Didn't people recognize him in Argentina? Argentinians go, hey, look at that. That's Hitler.
First of all,
he shaved his mustache.
You would think that he would do that. You would think that you would shave your mustache and maybe have a little bit of plastic surgery or something, right?
Not even that.
But apparently he didn't. He was so well protected that it was unnecessary. And several people at the time did say that they had seen him, but everyone thought that they were crazy, right? Because that went against the official story. And for things to move on, you have to bump off the people in the way, right?
Yeah, but let's go back to the beginning.
Welcome to Practical Parenting Podcast.
Not that beginning.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
The end. When he killed himself, allegedly.
Let's go back to the end.
And you said
back to the future.
And you said there was no body. Wouldn't they at least try to fake a body?
Yeah, I think that he had body doubles. That was part of his intelligence.
Yeah, but you just said there was no body.
Yeah, there was no Hitler's body, right? All there were bones and theoretically some dental records, which could have been faked.
Okay.
So it's very hard. It's very hard to say.
What's up, baby?
Because of course they say that.
Oh wow! Are you gonna give some to Daddy?
Oh,
careful there.
What's this, darling? Is this some ice cream? This, ladies and gentlemen,
it's ice cream.
These two Duplo blocks that you think are Duplo blocks are actually ice cream. What flavor is it? Is it?
Is it chocolate?
No. Strawberry.
Of course,
right.
It's strawberry.
Because it's pink on the top there, right?
What kind of ice cream do you have?
This is strawberry.
Is that vanilla? Oh, you've got chocolate.
Ice cream.
Okay.
And I have to, unless I do this, she's not happy.
That's her gone. You can stop.
But it's
so yummy.
It's so nice. Especially in the strawberry part.
Give me some. You'll be fat.
Right. Well, look, I'll just eat the strawberries and you can have the ice cream.
No, that's the strawberry ice cream. That's the cone. Can't you see?
Oh, that's the cone?
Yes.
Yeah, that. My imagination doesn't stretch that far.
It's obviously a cone. Obvious.
Obviously. I should have got it by the color, of course. Right. There we go.
Seaweed, Daddy.
Seaweed? What? Excuse me?
Yes.
What?
So he was.
Apparently, seaweed is very healthy.
So he lived in Argentina.
You get all that. What is that stuff you get from seaweed? The iodine.
Yeah. Some seaweed. Obviously, not all seaweed.
Well, you don't want to just like dive into the water and start munching, right? There's obviously a right way and a wrong way to do that.
Stop, baby.
So, oh, would you like the ice cream back, darling?
Thank you. It was lovely.
Thank you very much. Yeah. There we go. She's got a great business. Continuously selling the same ice cream to everybody again and again.
For pretend money.
Well,
I have a lot of
all
money.
All money is pretend money. Didn't you know?
Yeah. Try to tell it to the people in Vila.
Well, that's why they're working in Vila, isn't it? That and the lack of quality education. The fact that
you never know. I might pick up some work in Bela, actually.
Yes. Would you like that? Would you? Would you like that? Hello, how are you? Hello, how are you? That'll be £2.50, please. Thank you very much. Hello, how are you?
Don't say that in Bela. We don't pay with pounds.
Well, okay. So I was generalizing for the general public.
The general public doesn't pay with pounds, but with yens.
What?
Dollars.
The general public?
Yeah.
What about British people? They pay with pounds.
Yeah, I know, but British people have like this much.
What does that mean?
Compared to...
Oh, thank you, darling.
Compared to the people who pay in dollars.
Oh, I've got some more ice cream. What flavor? Oh, yeah, take the money, darling. Take the money. It's all yours.
Yeah, British people pay with pounds. Absolutely. I'm just...
Is this according to your philosophy?
Hmm?
This is 2 cones.
No. It's 1 cone and 1 scoop of vanilla ice cream.
Which is which? How am I supposed to know?
This is the cone, this is the vanilla ice cream.
So it goes like that.
Mm-hmm. Stop eating so much ice cream. You're gonna tummy ache.
It's going to make any sense on the podcast.
No, it's not.
Can't see that the Duplo is masquerading as ice cream on a cone.
It's not going to make any sense on the podcast or on the videos either.
Just like the ice cream. It's like the whipped ice cream with the chocolate flake.
It's going to be like, what are they doing? What?
Parenting? I thought this is supposed to be about parenting, and all he's done is rant on about Hitler and ice cream.
Exactly.
What a complete waste of my time. Oh my God. I'm going to go somewhere else on the internet and rant and rave about how bad everything is and how wrong everyone is. And I'm not in any way repressed about my own history and Sorry.
Actually, something like that happened yesterday on Facebook. Under one of our videos. Good. Because I refuse. Now this is inside information, right? But it's just for you and me, right? just and them out there.
You and me and those people out there, however they do it with their hands. I'm not sure, right? I don't read any comments.
Good for you.
I don't read any comments on anyone else's pages because I'll tell you why. I don't have time.
Good.
I am too busy being constructive and productive and proactive to care about what anyone else is writing on somebody else's page. If I create content and I post it somewhere, I'm adding to whatever exists there. So if I create a video about a specific topic and I link it to somebody's page, that gives them traffic, that gives them information, that gives them discussion topics, that gives them everything else. I'm damned if I'm going to spend like an hour and a half of my day doing that and giving people content, and then on top of that giving them more traffic, right, by writing comments there. It's just completely unproductive. And if other people want to do that, that's cool, because that's called free choice and free expression, and that's great. But in my experience on YouTube, 19 out of every 20 comments are criticisms in one way or another. And the one comment that is nice video or great work, I reckon they're just little bots on the internet, because I think unless you specifically target an element of the content, it's a bot. Like unless you specifically go into the content and pull out something and comment on that thing, I think that there are a lot of systems on the internet. We know already because the Twitter got caught with fake followers, and Facebook got caught with fake liking posts and stuff.
Instagram constantly has to remove automatic postings and likes and things. So
it's not even real, because it's got into the unreal stuff because you can now schedule your posts.
Mm-hmm.
So you can sit down on a Sunday evening and go, I'm gonna put that'll be Monday at 2 o'clock, that'll be Monday at 4 o'clock, that'll be Tuesday at 8 o'clock, and people will be like, oh wow, that's great, and that's
somebody's here. Yeah, they'll be like, oh look, she's online. She just posted something. Well, no, that was just my little machine doing the work.
And so the great thing about doing this video live and direct on the internet, nothing is pre-recorded. Nothing is edited out. Everything's live. Everything's in real time. And I've ranted before about other people saying live and then posting a pre-recorded video, so it's not live. That's all. That's all fake stuff. You want to join the revolution? Go live and put your money. I was going to say something else there. Put your money where your mouth is. Get out in real time and do a real post about everything that's going on. Don't worry about
that
editing
pointing
it.
your finger like that's really aggressive. It's a really aggressive gesture.
All right. Should I point my head instead? Like, no, you people all out there. Yeah.
You've been doing that anyway, only with the finger there.
That's because when my hands are behind my back, I get. But it's a message to the people that if you're jumping around on the internet and you're gonna take one line or one sentence or one idea from the thousands of videos that I've been involved in creating and be negative about it, you're not gonna engage me.
Yeah, I think the way I look at it is I think that reacting to people's questions or constructive criticism is a positive thing because we care about the people who watch us, we care about people's questions that they are asking us, when it comes to our videos or the things that we're presenting. But triggered, hateful, comments full of words taken out of context that's not a good thing to really react to.
Well, that's what I'm saying. There are all these little people on the internet who all they do is get attention by being negative towards something, anything, everything, and nothing. And these are people that don't have friends. Right?
And I think
these are people that don't have friends.
Well, I don't know if they do or don't, because I don't know.
Because if they've got friends who are like themselves, then they're not actually really friends. Because people like that can't have real friends because they can't express real empathy. They can't express real emotions. They've obviously got issues. They're unhappy with their lives. They're unhappy with the past. They're unhappy with the things about them. They feel powerless to change things in their own lives, which is crazy because we could help, right? We could set in place, in motion, a series of good habits in people's lives that can turn things around. It is possible. I've seen it done. It does require work, but most people are sitting in their easy chair at their desk, and they're spitting out this venom and hate.
I wouldn't say most people. It was just one person.
Okay. That was a mistake. Absolutely. Sorry, that was a mistake. Yeah,
there were people there in the thread actually who said you're just you're not listening and you're just taking things out of context. And
but what they're doing is they're feeding in to that person's ego.
Yeah.
Because that person knows.
It just gets them fired up.
That person knows when they write the comment that other people are going to be drawn in by that negativity. But when I was a kid, there was no such thing as hate speech. It didn't exist.
She started bullying.
Well, it's just an inability to control your own emotional state, and the internet gives you a platform to vent at other people that, or basically those in the know, when they see those comments, know that this is a deranged person, right? They know, so they know who to avoid. And I like Ryan Lee has the Freedom Network, right? The Entrepreneurial Business Skills Network, and his policy is one strike. He says, you make any negative comment, you make any problem anywhere across his Facebook network, you're gone. There's no second chance.
Who is this?
Ryan Lee.
Okay.
It's the Freedom Entrepreneurs Network, right?
What do you mean by any negative comment?
Well, it's
what if somebody criticizes his work? Would that be...
if it's not constructive and there's elements of negativity and hate within it, they're gone. They're gone. That's it. Instantly, they're out of the group, because who wants that? And he knows that he's there to protect his tribe. He's there to protect people who follow him who want to be creative and proactive and productive. And there are, I've been working recently with technological aspects, and I've on what is called essentially digital literacy in learning. And I've run into gatekeepers. There are certain people who are well known, who have organized big forums on the internet, and who will not let any of my posts on their pages because and this is, I've tried very hard to fit into their guidelines. I've tried very hard to post something which is creative and productive and instructive for people. No self-promotion. And they will not allow any of my posts on their page, but they will allow a lot of posts like this phrasal verb means this. Half a page about one phrasal verb. So there are these gatekeepers in place, controlling the flow of information, and I think limiting it in a very negative way on the internet. Now, you have to protect your tribe, you have to protect your group, you have to protect your brand, and that's all good, but be honest about it, right? These people are like, this group is open to everyone, but it's not. It's really not. These are the guidelines. As long as you follow the guidelines, everything will be okay. But it's not. So they're not,
but guidelines say no marketing, and if you post your own work and link up to your own website or to your own YouTube channel, that is considered, according to them, to be marketing. Doesn't matter whether you sell anything or not. You're marketing yourself.
You see, that's retarded.
Yeah, I know. That's
retarded and backwards, because every time a person makes a post,
they're marketing something.
They're marketing some. You can't avoid marketing. I mean, you know my speech about it. My speech about it is we're all prostitutes, right?
I'm not.
We are all prostitutes, and until we come to terms with that fact, we all in life have to sell our skills. We all have to sell ourselves. We have
selling
to sell
your skills. Make a prostitute. Prostitute sells sexual pleasure.
You know what I mean. I'm not saying we all bend over, right?
That's a silly analogy.
No, it's not, because people remember it. You need something striking and visual that people are going to remember. And when I'm working with my teenage students, that's the image I use, because I know that they'll never forget it, right? We all have to sell. All we've got to work with is us, right? Our body and our mind. And if you don't work with your mind, what do you end up selling? Your body. If you don't work with your mind, you end up selling your body. And like that in my opinion is it's not the lowest of the low level, because there's nothing wrong with
working manually.
No, I'm not saying.
What are you saying?
Right, because that's a skill which requires thought. It's not just well, you could have just like, okay, dig a hole, right? I mean, someone tells you dig a hole, you're, oh, dig a hole, okay, yeah, right. I mean, that's what's the point?
The working manual is not the lowest of the law.
Well,
It's not something
that's what
necessarily
I'm saying.
wrong.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's not something necessarily wrong in any sense, but we need people to think. We need cognitive ability. Otherwise, we just be like the brain dead zombies, right? Just kind of dragging our foot behind us.
Yeah, but I don't think it's either or.
More time. Well, here's the more and less philosophy, right? More time on this is less time on this. Life is limited, right?
Yes, but
more
you can't.
Wait. Not finished. More time on this is less time on this. Life is limited. Yeah. So if you spend more time focusing on generating income through your physical attributes, yeah, that's less time that you can spend developing income on your mental attributes. It's just a simple equation. Right.
Well, no, because
a balance is nice.
No, because if I'm say a trainer, right? If I'm a coach, okay, and I have an online business, promoting my training videos and programs,
like a lot of people do.
Then I am using my body to make my money, but I'm at the same time using my mind to make my money as well.
Isn't that just what I said? A balance is nice. It's the last thing I said.
Oh, yeah, I'm just trying to point out it's not like a either mind or body.
Yeah, but I'm trying to, because these kids.
I have to go wipe butt.
What? Wipe butt? Wipe butt? I thought she could wipe her own butt.
Sometimes she can. Zora.
Well, these things, right. So when I'm working with my teenage students on development and plans for the future, I think it's really important to understand there's only two things that you've got that you can use, your body and your mind, and those two things together make you who you are. Now, some people get to use their body and the physical attributes and aspects much more. They do it in sport, or they have some manual work that they do, which gives them other opportunities in life. Or you have the mental and psychological aspect. You work with your mind and creativity. You try to find solutions to certain problems. Now, we all know that we need a balance. We all know that we need a relationship between these two things. We all know that that there's a relationship between both. You can't have a healthy body without having something akin or similar to a healthy mind, a healthy mindset, or a growth mindset. We see that in the world around about us. Now, that doesn't mean that everybody has to go out and do fitness activities every day, but we all know that it helps. We all know that it helps, whether you're doing your active relaxation like jogging, or your more passive relaxation mental abilities like yoga and meditation. So all of these elements are very important, but the way I get it across to the teenage students is that, look, we're all prostitutes, right? All you've got to work with is you. And if you don't develop your mind, you're left with your body, right? So that's why I'm telling the students, develop your mind, because you don't want to be stuck left just with your physical body. Because that's not going to put you in a good place in life, because there'll be people that outsmart you and outthink you. You've got to be ready for that. So that's that. And there's a lot of people out there who are they're not as developed as they should be. The internet is a fantastic place for people who haven't grown up to explore their fantasies and their fantasy world.
Yeah,
and
a lot of free time to just blah.
On my jog up that hill, which no one can see over there through the forest and back around, I meet so many people just walking.
Walking in the forest. What's wrong with that?
It's like
it's like you're jogging, only slower. It's a physical activity. It's fresh air. Probably looking for mushrooms.
I could point them out because I'm like, I see them as I'm sort of going around. But I sort of, they probably wonder the same thing about me. They're probably like,
but why is he running?
Doesn't he have a job? Is
anybody chasing him?
Why isn't he? Because I was up on the hill looking down over the town, and it was all very still, peaceful, and quiet, and it sort of had this ambience of perfect organization, where you just imagine that everybody's busy doing something.
Is it raining out there? Sorry, I was just wondering.
You're not listening to me at all.
Everybody's busy.
Everybody's busy. Yeah, and I just thought that's an amazing piece of social organization, that everyone is busily going somewhere and doing something. That there appear to be, just from looking down over the town, it was obviously just a passing thought in my head. I was like, oh wow, that's kind of perfect organization. That you know, there's
Look
no
at it this way. I mean,
going crazy.
Either people are going somewhere, if all people are going somewhere, or if they take the time to just go nowhere, and then you look at them and think, don't they have any jobs to do, right? So,
well,
does that tell you something? To see that you are a perfect part of that perfect organization.
What are you talking about?
I'm saying that you are a perfect part of that perfect organization where everybody's going somewhere, busy doing something.
Yeah. Wasn't there a song, Busy Doing Nothing the whole day through? I seem to remember that from my childhood.
Is that about me?
No, that would be busy staring at a web screen with a strange look on my face all day. With a puzzled expression.
I wish that was what I was doing all day. No, I don't wish that, actually. And I don't do that all day.
Looking at things with a puzzled expression. Right.
I do wear a puzzled expression quite often, though. That's true. Things puzzle me.
Is that by choice?
Well, my face expresses my feelings, so I'm often puzzled. So, yeah. Mm-hmm. You're always like, you're making faces. Well, there's things happening behind that face, and it kind of transpires.
I'm not sure that that's the right word.
Yeah.
Transpires. It affects, maybe?
It shows.
It shows, yes. Yeah. Yes, that's better. It shows, absolutely.
It transpires.
Because transpire is...
Maybe sweats.
No, that's perspire.
That's perspires, yeah. Okay.
Transpire is usually a slow realization over a period of time.
Okay. I thought it... I wanted to say it seeps through.
You've been watching too many horror films. Right?
Not enough.
Well, hello, darling. Do you have a question?
I live in a horror film.
She said.
It's fighting over the house.
The house?
The Lego house we're gonna make.
Oh, gosh.
We're using logic, so it belongs to everybody.
Go and tell Will to share.
Slightly communist logic, but... as long as there's not a lot of destruction going on, it's sort of okay that everybody contributes.
I like how Zora can't say sh, and she says s.
Well, she still gets the past forms wrong, and I don't want to correct her because it's so sweet.
Even the whale sometimes get him wrong.
I had it in ice cream.
Yeah, that is cute.
Yeah, and I just let it go because just because.
Yeah, I'm wondering whether I should start training the pronunciation a little bit more, because she's going to start writing soon, and if she doesn't get the pronunciation, she could have problems with spelling when she writes.
Well, nobody ever has problems with spelling in English. It's not like we speak differently from how we write.
Because when person can't pronounce a vowel, they usually can't identify it, or they have a problem identifying it in the word. When you, like in the dictation, if she can't say sh, then she will subconsciously identify everything as a s and write it that way.
Well, the children have to go through a very complex process during that period of time. Anyway, although don't underestimate their abilities, right? Yeah,
I know. I was just wondering whether I should try and correct it a little bit. Maybe, I don't know.
Or you can, as long as you don't like overdo it every time. Right?
Yeah, of course, there would be through play.
Yeah, absolutely. In moderation, these things are fine. That'll be the horror film that you were talking about.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Her way of expressing, I don't like that very much.
Yeah, she screams and scratches.
Oh dear.
Maybe I should.
You want to go? Yeah, go and check it out, and I'll do a little bit of a segue into play. They've built a house, and now they're all three of. They built a house out of Lego, the ultimate toy, and so Will is 8, and Zora is going to be 5 in. What's the date today? The 8th. She'll be 5 on the 15th, so that's in a week. And Jazzy is 2.5, just over 2.5. So Jazzy is still developing her communication skills and her principles of understanding possession and obligation. That, of course, she tends to think that everything belongs to her. And we have to go through the slow process of explaining that there are some things that are hers, but not everything is hers. And of course, over time, these principles can change as well. So we do that step by step, bit by bit. We've done it with the older children, and it's interesting the way the older children pick up these ideas and also teach it to the younger children as well. You can't leave it to the children to teach the children, but it's part of the natural process anyway. So, play. I was looking for some information about play that I could share, because to me, there's no difference between experiments and playing. The experiments is is the adult term for what we do when we try things to see what the result will be. And play is what we use with children when they try things to see what the result will be. Essentially, scientists are involved in the act of play as the same way as children are involved in the act of experimentation with their actions in the world, where they observe what is happening and the consequences of what it is that they do. Not only observing their own actions, but the actions of those around about them, and the actions of the parents as well. So let's get a little bit of a report here from the other side. Welcome back. How's it going in the bedroom?
Jasmine was trying to take apart the house that they built.
Okay.
Because there was an inbuilt computer that controlled the spaceships that were coming in, and she wanted to get to the inbuilt computer, so she needed to take a part of the wall apart.
Oh, naturally, just like the people downstairs.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, so Will had a major panic attack, to use his own words. And I'm having a major panic attack, Mom.
That's good. He can verbalize it.
Yeah.
Rather than just having it.
Yeah.
He knows what it is. That's cool. Right. Let's do the yay or nay hit and miss with this. I've collected some quotes about play, and we'll run through them quickly, and we will see if we agree, disagree. We'll see what they mean to us.
Try that then.
Here we go. Right. Number one, play is our brain's favorite way of learning.
Yes.
Moving on.
Sorry.
Right. Okay.
Nothing.
Short answers.
Yes, it is. We all like to play. I like to play. Do you like to play?
Yeah, I think there's an element of play in all creativity and all things that are new. There's an element of play there. I think that very often when things become boring, it's because the element of play is missing. There we go. Right. Number two. I shouldn't have to defend play for children any more than I should have to defend their eating, sleeping, and breathing.
Absolutely. Yes. I don't even question that. I, when I used to tell Will to do something like a chore, right? He was around Zora's age, or even 5, and I would tell him, Will, come and do this. And he would say, but I'm busy, Mom. I'm playing. I would always acknowledge that as his work, because that is his work. He was actually really busy playing, right? So I would say, okay, we'll wait. If it could wait.
Okay, that's cool. So, yeah, I agree. We shouldn't have to defend at any time what's natural.
Yeah, play shouldn't be underestimated as a secondary or unimportant activity for kids.
Of course. Moving on. Number 3. The debt we owe to the play of the imagination is incalculable. Oh, there's talking about imagination.
It's a stormtrooper.
Oh, it's just you. I thought it was a real stormtrooper.
We thought it was a stormtrooper.
Yeah. Wow. You're so good at that. Can I see that? Can I see the mask? You just got to scare.
You just scared us.
You scared us, darling. We thought a real stormtrooper was coming to get us. We thought we were going to be taken away to the imperial mines of whatever planet. I don't know. Will would know which planet they're on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's from the Star Wars.
Star Wars. She was.
Did she just do Darth Vader breathing there?
I don't know. I can't see what's going on. Something going on there. Not sure what it is.
She's crazy. Sorry. What was number 3?
Well, it's the debt we owe to the play of the imagination is incalculable.
I don't understand that.
Okay, it's from Carl Jung, so that probably explains why we don't understand
the
it.
debt we owe.
Yeah, it's just saying that the life means nothing without the use of the human imagination. Meanwhile, moving.
And we also through play we also make connection. I mean, as adults, as children as well, obviously, naturally, but even as adults, we connect through play.
I was thinking about the amazing parenting video that we did yesterday, and I was thinking about you replacing the word love with connection, and I thought that was good.
Yeah.
Good.
Good.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about it anymore. If you want to know more about what we talked, you can find the new series of amazing parenting videos on our YouTube channel.
Yes, and the series, the first series.
The old series that we finished last week.
Yes,
which is old.
It's not very old. It's being transformed into a whole big complex and amazing and fun and what else? Give me some superlatives.
The
greatest ever course, email course. So if anybody's interested,
the greatest ever
in the history of humankind.
There's quite a few of those.
Okay.
There's quite a few of those greatest ever in the history of humankind courses.
Yes. But
Yeah.
ours is the greatestest.
Most greatestest.
Yes.
Oh, excellent. Right.
Ever.
EVAH, right?
Yes.
Eva.
Yes.
To be
In the history of universe.
to be cool. Yeah. I was doing my presentation about the technical stuff this morning,
Mm-hmm.
and I said the cools are tool. Come on, words mixed up.
Maybe you're confused by the Googles that we were watching yesterday.
Oh, it's a stormtrooper!
Again.
Oh,
I'm
it's
getting
only you.
attacked.
Didn't know who that was under the mask there. Yeah, you do it so well. Right, what's
Just
going
let her
on?
come all over here when she comes next time.
She's.
What's up, sweetie?
I think she's had enough.
Yeah, she's tired.
She said, "I don't know how." I don't know how what. Anyway, never
I
mind.
don't know how. I'm just gonna use that now. Every time I feel like that, I'm just gonna say, I don't know how. I'm probably going to be repeating it from
Everything-
now on until
Everything I know, I learned from my kids. Right.
Mhm.
That's probably a book somewhere. I'm quite sure. Someone's probably done that. Oh wow! Can you bring that over here, guys? Guys, bring that over here. That looks amazing. Oh, come as well. You come over here as well. That's it.
Wants to have the computer that's inside.
Now let's show it first,
Hey, can I have a look at it? Is that okay, Jazzy? Can
and
I
then
have a look at it? 'Cause I haven't-
maybe we could.
Yes, we'll give it.
Uh-huh. Oh, can you let her have a look at
Can
it?
I?
Jasmine, you can have a look at it, but don't destroy it, okay?
Jazzy,
Not the
can you?
house.
If Will gives it to you, can you give it to me? No.
No.
Right. Is it okay if I have a look at it for just 30 seconds, Jazzy, and then I'll give it to you? Hey, Jazzy, what if Will gives it to me and I give it to you? No?
Yep.
No, that didn't work either. Okay. What's the other next strategy? Well, can we put it on here and look at it together? No? Okay. Will, what's going to happen if you put it down on the cushion there?
She'll come over there and come running for the house.
No, sure, not if you put it on this cushion right here that I'm pointing at. My friend. No,
The
I'm not
orange
pointing
cushion
at
on the floor.
the other orange cushion because he's pointing.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Okay. Okay, Jazzy, we'll put it down, but you're not allowed to take it apart. Okay, you're not allowed to run away.
Allowed to take it apart.
Yes. Okay.
No,
Will, could you put it? Will, if you don't put it down in the next 10 seconds, everyone is going to. Wow. Okay, you guys can play with it there. Okay, but don't take it anywhere else. Make sure it stays on the cushion because the cushion is the home for the house right now. Imagine the cushion is a cloud.
She's tired. She's going to lose it.
Mm-hmm.
I think she's hungry as well. Can I go and
What's up? Huh?
can
I'm lost
I
now.
can I leave for
Are
a
you
minute?
you're going to
I want to do something.
deal with things that need to be dealt with. Once again, let's telephone a friend. Hey, it's dope, man. Yes, weird, obscure lyrics from the 80s and 90s. My head is full of them. Have you tried jogging to the music of Marillion? That's what I was doing today, jogging to the music of Marillion. It's interesting, very interesting, very spacey, melodic, journey-like, experimental. It's very interesting, very interesting. I find something new every time I listen. So it's definitely not your 3-minute throwaway pop song. It's definitely far more complex than that. Strange how I missed the band the first time round. Well, I guess we discover these things as we get older. There we go. So we were talking about play. Moving on from Carl Jung, the next quote about play is almost all creativity involves purpose purposeful play. Absolutely. Purposeful play. Play that has some kind of direction. And not all play needs direction. You can get the kids in the park with a football kicking it around just because they want to kick it around and run around and get the energy out of themselves. But once you add a purpose, like scoring a goal or adding points, suddenly it becomes more interesting. So definitely a purpose is important in all elements of creativity. The purpose can be defined by the kids themselves, or if you want to try, you can try to define it for them. But I would listen to what the kids see as important. Hey guys, can you show me what you've built? Can I see what you built? Can you bring it over here and I will sure. Okay, so there's this house, okay, and there's a plane. I'll put the plane on here, okay. And what's that? There's another part. What's that?
That's an enemy plane.
This is an enemy plane. Okay, that's an enemy plane. Okay, that's cool. Thank you very much. And this guy lives in the house, right?
Yeah, that's Obi-Wan Kenobi, and Cole's already inside keeping the lookout.
Ah, okay. Oh, they've got a little kind of pillbox army kind of World War II kind of space here, so that they can shoot their guns out of it. Okay. There's no door. There's no door, guys. How do people get in and out? There's no windows either. You're pretending it's a hologram door. How do I know where the door is? Do I just like walk into the wall continuously until I find the magic door, or is there some other system?
That'd be nothing new.
This wall? There's a door here. Okay, there's an imaginary door there, yes?
No, it's a hologram door.
It's a hologram door.
It's not imaginary. It's a real hologram door. Obviously, it's a Lego hologram
It's a
door.
pretend real...
Lego hologram.
Lego hologram. Oh, that's too much for my brain. Right, okay.
Okay, they have to go and eat now. Go, guys. Chop, chop.
We'll look after this, okay? We'll make sure that... yes, we'll make sure that nothing happens to it. Maha.
Okay, Danny, go and eat.
I hate when they both talk to me at the same time. I never know who to listen to.
Just split your attention.
It's just word, just right. If I could just have your attention, what is that? Okay, for half a second, or what does that mean? Well,
probably on Dad's place.
Yeah, don't fall off the ball. Dad sits on a football because he's weird.
Yeah.
Right.
Because he had nowhere else to put it.
No, because I don't sit that much. But I did want to sit on the ball, so I thought that sitting at the table on the ball would be practical.
That's true, because you've got a standing desk, so you don't really have anywhere else to sit on the ball. Other than at the table.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. And if we put the ball in the living room,
oh my God! Don't even go there.
Everything would be destroyed. Right?
Yes. Don't even go there.
Right.
Yeah, there were like 700 accidents per day.
At least.
Plus minus.
Well, that would be just the morning. Right. The first thing, because the first thing you want to do in the morning after you get up is
throw yourself at a big ball.
Right. Yeah? Yes. Big bouncy rubber one.
Yes.
Anyway, moving on.
Number 4.
I did number 4 while you were away.
Did you?
Yes. I don't want to bore people.
Okay.
So
number 5.
Number 5. You don't remember the times your dad held the handlebars. You remember the day he let go. So you don't remember all the little ways that your parents helped you and kept you safe, but you do remember those critical moments when they stepped back and
I do
let
actually.
you
I do.
experience something for yourself.
My dad never held the handlebars though.
Ever?
Well,
Did he want you to crash?
it was my mum, and she held the back of the bike. She held the seat.
You can't go anywhere if someone's holding the seat.
Well, she was running.
That must have been practical.
Yeah, she was
and
running behind
amusing.
the bike, and well, when you hold the handlebars, you're running next to the bike as well, so it's not that much difference. You know, she would not hold the
Nobody
handles.
ever held the handlebars for me because I had those little stabilizer wheels.
Yeah, but you must have taken them off at some point.
Yeah, it's kind of weird because I remember that.
Yeah? Who took them off?
But once again, I've got these false memory projections where I can see myself. So that's
normal.
obviously not real.
Yes, it is.
But not if you can see yourself from the outside. Like
Yes,
I can
it
see
is.
myself.
All my memories are like that.
Yeah, but they're not real. No, it doesn't. Wait, slow down here. This is really important. If your memory has you in the center of the image, it's not real.
It's not true.
It cannot be real.
Gee, that's not true.
It cannot be real.
Can you?
It cannot be a real memory. Something similar to that happened, but there's no way. There is no way physically, there's no way psychologically, there's no way biologically, there's no way scientifically, unless you had a video camera or something like that there, that can be real.
We
There's
never
no
had
way.
a video camera. We were
There's
poor.
there's no way that the memory that you have can be real. What's happened is similar to that, but there's no way the memory that you had can be real. The only reality that exists is the reality that you see and experience through your senses.
Okay. Can I speak now? Did you finish? Because I tried to speak and you would. Yeah,
but I had to explain that because
you don't.
People,
because I got your point the first time that you said it.
but not just for you, but for people out there, right? For anyone who catches up with this and listens to this, it's really important. Now, I can't express this enough because people.
Yes, you can. You already have.
No. People make the mistake of believing that those kinds of memories are real, and it's a problem because they're not.
I'm pretty sure that there is some kind of a psychological explanation.
There can't be. Okay, that's not an.
When you're a
child,
whoa, something happens.
Wait.
I'm not going to wait because I'm going to talk.
No, it's really important.
I started and you jumped into it.
Okay.
This is really important as well.
Okay. I'll say one more thing, please. Can I say one more thing? If you base an argument on a first premise that is false, the whole argument is false.
I'm not basing anything on what I said.
But I'm constructively listening to what you say for logic.
You're not, you're talking.
If you're not listening to what I'm saying, and it's really important.
I know what you said.
Please listen.
I'm listening. Please. I know what you said. You're saying that my first premise was wrong because I said that there are probably some psychological studies.
Yeah,
I get it.
And so
I'm not stupid.
You can talk, right? But you can't build any logical argument.
I'm not building any logical arguments on that.
Okay,
and I didn't intend to either.
But this is really important because if you go on to talk about something and the first premise is incorrect, everything beyond that is incorrect.
What was that, guys?
What was that crashing and bashing sound in the kitchen?
Will?
The candle. The pumpkin's got a candle in it, which is burning.
It's not burning
anymore. It was burning this morning when I got up for breakfast.
It's not burning anymore.
Okay.
Anyway, I was saying.
The pumpkin has crashed onto the floor, probably.
When you have memories, even when they're very fresh memories, you process them in your mind. You go over them again and again. You process them, okay? I imagine this process as a child, because it usually happens in the evening. So I imagine, you know, a child lying in the bed thinking about what happened today. Okay, and they're processing this memory of them riding a bike. And as they're processing the memory of them riding a bike, they think about, you know, where they were, what it looked like, what it smelled like, what they looked like. They try to imagine what their mom looked like when she was pushing them. And you easily get from the actual sense of holding handlebars and feeling the air and feeling your mother pushing you from the back. You easily get to the outside, looking at yourself, processing the memory.
It's not a logical process. I don't disagree with the language that you're using, but none of that is logical.
That's how that's how I process my memories. Okay.
Okay. Well, then.
That's how I process all my memories. Everything I remember, I see from the outside, looking at myself. You're trying to tell me that I don't remember anything of my life?
I'm telling you that those visions are not real, because they can't be real, because they never happened.
No, memory is real, G, because memory is in the past, so it's not real. Okay.
And that's what I'm saying. You agree with me there, because you're saying it's not real.
Well, no, I don't agree with you, because you just told me that it never happened.
Okay. Is it better for you if I define it that it never happened that way?
Yes, there's a big difference between those two.
Okay.
Because it did happen that I learned riding a bike by my mother pushing me from the back.
Slow down.
Slow down. I'm not going to slow down.
Yes, but no, but you're going to make another.
No, I'm not.
You've already made a mistake, and I can't point it out because you keep talking.
Yes, because I want to finish.
That way.
I understand you're that way because I'm not an idiot. I know that I was not levitating somewhere, looking at my body and looking at my mother pushing me.
Now that's a weird abstraction where you're getting defensive and very abstract and bringing in the impossible.
Obviously, it didn't.
This is very important. Watch this very closely.
I know.
This is a very important process.
I know it didn't happen that way. Okay, I'm not an idiot. I know it didn't happen.
I haven't said at any point. Now you're introducing something that I didn't say. I did not say.
Yes, because it's obvious. Because I already told you how the process of getting outside of your body and looking at your memory happened. How it happens with me.
No, you didn't tell me how it happened. You said there's a jump.
Excuse me?
You said there's a jump.
I didn't even use the word jump.
You didn't use the word jump. Absolutely not. I say jump because you said this very easily leads to this, but it doesn't in any sense. And then if you go into any scientific laboratory, if you go to visit any psychologist, if you go and visit anybody who works with the human mind, they will point out that is not in any sense logical or natural.
Okay, I know I was not outside looking at myself riding a bike, okay, but I know that thing happened. I know that memory is real in the sense that it really happened.
What's that noise?
Okay.
What's going on? Things are turning off and turning on somewhere.
I don't know. It's your computer that's making the noises. I can't answer your questions.
My computer doesn't make noises. It's turned off through there.
Is that my computer?
Yes.
Well then, whatever. It's my computer that's making the noises.
Yes. Thank you very much for saying it was mine when it's impossible for it to be mine. This is what I'm saying here, that people will say impossible things without analyzing them to realize that understanding this logic is very important. What you remember, this thing called memory, is illusory, right? Now, your mother helped you learn to ride a bike, but when you look back and go into memory and look for this activity, your brain builds a false picture of what happened, because there's no way that you can be outside of yourself. That would be a so-called out-of-body experience, and there's no science that proves that is real. People
but that doesn't mean that it didn't happen.
Whoa. I'm not. You just agreed with the very first thing that I said. The very first thing I said was it happened, right? That was the very first thing I said, okay? So you're repeating what I said. Now, that memory is not real because it didn't happen that way. there was something that happened, but there's no way to process that reality without a video recording or an audio recording of that reality. This has been proven scientifically again and again and again in scientific studies of conversation, where scientists wait 24 hours after a conversation between two people, try to get them to recreate the conversation, and it's so different from the original conversation, and the people, even after 24 hours, are so convinced, Will, I'd better be really, really, really important.
Yes, you can have it. Go.
Go. All right.
He's getting better at his figurative dancing there.
No, he's not getting any better at not interrupting. He still interrupts. He's not getting any better at all. And then when I give him what he wants, he gets frustrated.
It's because I told him he can have his tablet after half an hour of playing with his sisters with the Lego. So.
Okay, so the whole point that I'm making, which is really, really, really important, is that we create false memories for ourselves. Will, you're on 2 warnings of 3, okay?
If she has
one more time.
Can you stop talking? Because you're not helping.
No, because he knows that he can't interrupt us.
If you can't have it right now, then you're gonna have to wait until I can solve the situation, okay? If you can't solve it yourself, then you're gonna have to wait until I'm finished and until I can solve the situation for you.
Okay. Well, do you?
What's up?
Well,
I can't even hear you, Will.
Well,
you're not
you're
talking.
not supposed. Come here and say what you want to say. And can you do it quickly, please? Because we're on a podcast and this is live on the internet.
What can I use to give to Jessie for the tablet?
Well, we can't solve that problem right now. You're going to have to go to your room and stay there, okay?
Or you can try and solve the problem, but don't make her scream or anything.
Well, I'm going to ask you to go to your room and stay there because I asked you not to interrupt us during a podcast, and you've done that, okay? I'm sorry. I mean, he knows.
Yes, but he had a problem.
He doesn't have a problem at all. He waits. Explain to him he can wait. You explained it to him, and he's like, blah, 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 blah. I didn't have any effect. So, there. Will, I asked you to close the door. He has to learn to wait. He's got 1,000 other things that he could do.
Yes, but I told him that he can have it after a half an hour.
Yeah, well, that was a mistake if it was possible for Jessie to get the tablet between now and then, and us being on the podcast. That was a mistake. Because you can't be here and there at the same time. So if you promised him that you'd solve the problem there, you can't do that if you're here.
I didn't promise him that I would solve a problem. I told him he can grab his tablet.
Yeah, but you created the situation.
Yes.
Which required you to solve a problem that you can't solve.
Well, I just told him that I will solve it for him after we're finished, or he can try to solve it himself.
You and I both know that that's not going to work. You and I both know what's going to... Okay, I do.
I don't know that.
I do.
I think you may be underestimating his abilities.
No. I'm not underestimating his abilities. I know exactly what the reaction is going to be, and I'm going to be left here all by myself as you go away and solve that problem that's been created. I prevented a problem. I have just prevented a problem from happening. Yeah?
No.
Yes, I have. I've just prevented. There was going to be a problem for sure. Jessie was going to react. There would be screaming. There would be
noise. You have no way of knowing that. You have no way of knowing that for sure.
I've got no way of knowing that for sure, but 9 times out of 10, that's what happens. So I'm going to go with the average.
I told him specifically to see if he can solve it himself without creating a conflict. And you didn't give him the chance to try and see if he can solve it without creating a conflict.
Because he would just come back here again and interrupt us again. That would be the result of that. He would go there, he would fail, he would come back and wave his arms and jump up and down again, and that would not get anything anywhere. That would be the result of the two possible results. Number one, Jazzy freaks out. Number two, he comes back and interrupts us again. Those are the two most probable results. Now, there's a third possibility, which is he
That's what I told him.
No,
either solve the situation or wait until we're finished.
No, he wasn't going to wait until we're finished, because that's why he was interrupting us. And the chances of him solving the situation by himself were probably about 10 to 1. And so I'm going to go with those averages. I'm going to say somebody's got to make a decision to stop a problem. And if he has to wait 15 minutes, then that's it. He has to wait 15 minutes. But someone's got to make that decision. Right? You know, he could have solved that problem earlier without coming to us, and he didn't come to us. So I think he did. He didn't come to us. Oh, never mind. I don't think that I want to repeat everything again.
Good.
Right. So, memories, when you are outside of yourself, seeing yourself, are false. Right?
Yeah, you said that.
They help us to orientate on past events. But these memories, and science and psychology has also shown that these memories can be manipulated and altered. That when we are told enough times that something did or did not happen, we then believe, if we're told it did happen, that it happened when it didn't. Or when we're told it didn't happen when it did. The mind can be very easily influenced. Now, you want to go online and check. There are, I don't know, I've seen 50 studies about this, which prove it to be true. And I reckon you can find probably about 1,000 online that are like that. So
what's the point?
The thing is that people think that their memories, that people are basing their lives on these memories that they think are real, but the truth is they're not. The truth is that people need to understand and focus on their past a little bit more than they're focusing on it, because one of the reasons that people have problems as adults is that they're not aware of their own past. They've got this illusory picture.
So how can you focus? So how can you focus on your past if you don't know what happened and you have no way of knowing what happened?
2 ways already during this conversation. What were they? I gave you 2 ways already during this conversation.
I don't know.
Okay, see, this is the point about focus, right? During the conversation, I told you 2 ways that this can be done already. One is through audio recording, and the other is through video recording.
But that's not you don't have that.
Listen.
You don't have recordings. I don't have any recordings of my childhood.
And that's why you have to question everything.
Well, that's my point. You're not answering my point. I'm asking you, how can someone focus on their past when they don't have any recordings?
Audio, video, letters, talking to, 4 ways: audio, video, letters, talking to other people about their experiences of the same situation, what they felt and what they remember about it. Those 4 ways. 4 scientific ways.
Okay, I don't have the first 3, so I'm left with talking to people. And how am I sure that those people are not manipulating my memory? Because you just told me that memories can be easily created, even those that don't exist.
That's the problem with human history. You can't. And you have to go with the default, which is question mark.
So I can't focus on my past.
No, you want to throw away everything. See, I gave you 4 ways. I gave you 4 ways to help yourself, and now you're saying you can't do it. I gave you all the tools you need to do it, and you're saying, "Well, I can't do it."
Well, I
can't, that's an absolute.
Because I don't have the first 3. Okay, I'm talking about myself. I'm not talking about everybody out there.
You've got 1 is very important. Why don't you want to?
I've got 1. Yes,
but you have to even question that one.
Yes, but
and the only way to know
those are memories of other people. How do I know that they are real?
Okay, first of all,
I mean, you can't rely on that as a source.
No. You're not listening to me, because I said you can't rely on them. You're saying, how do you know? I've already said to you 3 or 4 times. You cannot rely on it. You have to cross-reference everything, right? That's why to know that, okay, basically to know that anything is real or true, you need 3 perspectives on the same thing.
3.
Yeah, that's it. Like if this person tells me something, right? It's their perspective on the subject, right? And then somebody else comes and tells me something. Okay. And then you check this data with a third person, then it has some validation. But until you do that, it has 0 validation in terms of information from people. That's why the creation of audio recording, digital recording, video recording is the greatest scientific, it's the greatest advancement in humanity ever, because suddenly we're able to analyze reality. Before, all we had were people writing about what they saw, or people drawing what they saw, or painting what they saw, and that was helpful and useful. We could build encyclopedias, but it wasn't enough. Now we have this ability to record data. We can check it. This was not available before, and people need to understand that a lot of the memories that we have are false. And I know this because I've been through it with myself and with other people. I know other people who have, and you know who they are, who have completely rewritten history for certain things that happened and didn't happen. Okay. We've talked about this before. You might have forgotten about the conversation, but we have had this conversation before about people who rewrite the past by saying this did not happen and that did not happen when it clearly did. And there's evidence for it. So there are a lot of people like that, and the way that we understand the world, is through analysis, not just of our own experiences, which could be false, but of other people's experiences as well. This is how we learn about how people are colorblind, right? We learn that through this collection of a larger amount of data about what the human experience should be. The more data we have, the more precise and exact we can be with our measurements and our information. And so when we think about the past, again, people don't get this, and nobody is going to progress in their lives until they understand that their memories are false. That's it. You've got to get over and around and through that barrier by some kind of analysis of the way things are. And as I said, you take a conversation today, you record it, you try to recreate the conversation tomorrow, the conversation is different.
Of course it's different. Nobody can remember everything they said.
And then things
word by word
change and transform. You know the selective focus experiment with the basketball and the monkey, right?
Yes.
Right? Because people are told what is important, they completely disregard everything else. And that's what the brain is doing when you think about the past. That's the same process the brain is going through when you think about the past. When you think about the past, you're focusing on what you know, or even more scary, what you think that you know. But that can just as easily be a manipulation, and that's as far as we can get. People who take it further end up in the insane world of, we all live in a matrix and everything's in a projection and we can't really be sure of everything, and that's just insanity. But what we can do is say that there's a lot of things that we don't know about ourselves in our own past, and this memory that has us in the center of it is unreal. It is not even possible that it's real, because you're not a camera outside of yourself recording what's going on. Nobody is. It's impossible. There we go.
Number 6.
Number 6. And the last one for today, because I've been ranting.
You've been ranting.
Been ranting. But it's really important.
Ask the occasional question.
But it's really important. No human being can progress until they understand what I've said. None. That's it.
It's not a generalization at all.
No, but it's The truth is never a generalization. It is what it is. Play is the work of the child.
That's what I said. That's what I said when we were talking about number 2 or 3. Was it?
Ah, good. Well, that was very pertinent, wasn't it? Right. Super. Right. If you'd like more information about how we argue and what we argue about, if you'd like to tell us where to go and how to get there, then you know where to find us online. I'm at the Academy of Language Therapy and Life Coaching on YouTube and Facebook. It's also nsa-slovakia.com. And this is the 19th century. Sorry, no, not the 19th century. 18th century.
Yes.
18th century. This is
21st century mum spelled mum.com.
You better say it again because I was talking over the top of you. I'm sorry.
Oh, how unusual!
Oh, now you're gonna. Okay, now I'm just gonna talk now, because I gave you an opportunity there, and you were just like, oh no, I'll just throw it back at you. Yeah, right back at you there, man. Okay, right, okay.
Okay, I might just go and have a soup now, people. So I'm just gonna leave this person to keep talking because I'm getting a headache.
Jane Austen here, right?
So
there we go.
Yeah, I'll see you later. If you have any questions,
she floats away.
Like, for example, how do I keep myself sane? I will be happy to answer it to you, them.
What?
Just leave them in the comment.
The people. Hello?
Questions.
Look, and you know, finally, I'd just like to say your day is not complete without one of these.
That's Obi-Wan.
Obi-Wan of these.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of I might play with it myself.
I know. You're gonna end up doing just that, aren't you? You're probably gonna attach it to your spoon and eat your soup with it.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, I know.
Think of that. She's got the sheep.
Yeah.
Right. Well, that's a sign that we should stop. Thank you very much.
See you later,
online. Maple. What?
Later, I said. See you later, people.
Hello, Canada. Sorry.
And yeah, he needs food because when he rants, it makes him hungry. So I'm going to feed him, and we will see you next time.
Food stop rant. Food stop rant.
I need to.
Food stop rant. It should be the name of a restaurant. Anyway.
No,
yeah.
it should not.
I've seen it all now. As all chaos breaks out.
Yeah. So I found the punching gloves, so we have to go.
If you're just joining us right now, rewind. You missed it all, including my big rant about.
Oh my God! Yes.
Bye-bye.
Yes, you want to listen to the rant. Bye.